We are now in the fourth episode of Secret Invasion, and we're now finding out more people are scrolls. Most notably, Rhodey's a scroll. Yeah, I mean, based on him being a jerk to Fury and firing him earlier, it seemed fairly obvious. But yeah, in this one, he's a scroll. He's positioned, with a spot in the White House, very close to the president, so it makes sense that the scrolls would want somebody there. The scroll who's playing Rhodey is kind of an idiot. Because, Fury figures it out pretty quickly in this episode. And then, Rhodey's attached to the president in a motorcade, but he doesn't have his War Machine armor. And, there's, an action set piece around that motorcade where it makes zero sense that he wouldn't be in his War Machine armor. Except that they didn't want to pay for that CG, I guess. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. And actually, I think, interestingly, the scroll that is posing as Rhodey is a woman. I doubt anything more is going to come of that other than we, see her in the shower before she, steps out and turns into Rhodey. But since last week they foiled a nuclear attack that Gravik and his crew were planning, this week they decide to make it look like the Russians are attacking the president. That could definitely start a world war. Quite a lot of this episode is taken up with us learning about Fury's wife. She's called Priscilla, at least that's her human name. I don't remember what her scroll name is or if they said it, but she's a scroll. And she and Fury have been married for about 10, 20 years. But she's also working for Gravik, and actually Rhodey tells her to kill Fury, or they'll kill her. Obviously, she and Fury have a rocky relationship with him, leaving her right after the blip to go to space and all that stuff. But a lot of the episode is kind of devoted to her relationship issues, but they do end up working it out and they don't kill each other. Obviously, I didn't think the show was going to go that route. If they're not going to do more with her, this kind of feels like a filler plot. I guess something to build out Nick Fury's character a bit more, but I don't really see the relevance to her character to the plot itself. It just feels like something to pad out time. Especially because, I didn't think at any point she was actually going to betray him. They're not going to introduce a wife character and then he has to kill her, right? A braver director might do something like that, but that's not the Marvel way. They're not going to do that. As for Talos is an absolute moron. But unfortunately, so are the writers. So I think, he's got this idealistic vision of how the Skrulls are going to convince the humans to let them stay on the planet. He's like, no, we just have to show them that we're good people. We have to show them who we are and rely on their kindness. And I'm like, yeah, that's not really how getting civil rights has ever really worked. It usually does take direct action. Maybe not starting a nuclear war, but, Marvel's had a problem with this where the villain has good ideas, but they go too far. So we really should probably just maintain the neoliberal status quo and do a speech to the president about how he has to do better with, claps in between. And he pitches this whole idea to his daughter Gaia that, that he just is going to convince the U.S. presidents to give them amnesty by showing them that they're good people. And she's just like, yeah, you're an idiot. That's not gonna work. And that's what I was yelling when he was saying it. I'm like, this is the most Libby thing ever. It's not gonna work. But then again, it's Marvel, so I think ultimately he will be proven right. I think that it'll take some, there'll be some noble sacrifice that will convince the president, oh, you know what? The Skrulls can be good people too. So sure, million Skrulls, come on into the US. Be shapeshifters. No problems can arise from that. Oh yeah, Gaia. So I mentioned last week that I didn't think we were gonna see much more of Gaia, and that's because they did a fake out where she gets shot by Gravik once he finds out she's the mole. But then at the beginning of this episode, we find out that she had put herself in the contraption that turns them into super Skrulls, so she was able to heal from the bullet wounds. But so I expect she's probably going to have some big action set piece in like 6th episode where she and Gravik have it out. But Gravik's got some powers. I think those are Groot tentacles. I'm pretty sure that's what they were. I think there was a screen on the base like a couple episodes ago where Gaia was investigating what all they were putting into the Super Scroll stuff, and one of the things was Groot's DNA. So apparently Gravik's got Groot arms now when he wants to. This actually kind of makes me think of a plot from the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where there was an organization called Centipede that was basically creating super soldiers by mixing together a bunch of different things like extremists and other things that had appeared previously in other MCU movies. And they're like, oh yeah, let's put it all together and like put it in a device that attaches to your spine or something like that. I don't remember if it was their spine or their wrist. Anyway, but it's just one of those things where it's, here's power sets that we've already established can be given to other people in the movies. We'll just have the villain take them all and mix them into a slurry. Hopefully there's something more unique with the Super Scroll power set than that. But ultimately, unfortunately, I think he's just going to do some generic stealing of other people's powers. But like I said, the big action set piece is Gravik stages a Russian attack on the president's convoy, and Rhodey, being a Skrull, is in that convoy, and at no point suits up. And I'm just like, that of course people are gonna know you're a Skrull. The president's being attacked and you're not war machining up. I'm really not enjoying this show. I'm just hoping for some good action. I know at the end of the show we're just gonna have somebody give a speech about how you've got to do better, and the United States will just happily accept 1 million shapeshifters as refugees because somebody said a speech. Even though, you know, ultimately Gravik is right in that, like, they're never just gonna give them a home, they have to take it. Like, that's how it would actually play out. But Marvel always has to have a villain who has good intentions, but, you know, goes too far, and so we've got to do the status quo thing. Dizzy says, I mean, that is what a Super Scroll is. It's the all your powers combined trope, but usually in the comics it's the Fantastic Four's powers. Yeah, I know that when they were making Captain Marvel, I don't think they had purchased Fox yet, so there was a limit to what they could use the scrolls for. Like, they could use the scrolls, but they could not have the Super Scrolls yet. But they've bought Fox since, so the film rights to Fantastic Four are now back in Marvel's control. So there they go. They've got it. But yeah, Marvel's Libby, and this show really just feels like next week on the MCU. It's just kind of a filler series. I'm not enjoying it. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm trying to get my channel monetized, so your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like, and subscribe, and ring the bell. I stream these reviews every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons with a special shout out to Piftle Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.